Right. Heaven gets heaven. Talk to the rapper.
What's going on, Pink Domination? It's your boy, Julian. It's time for another diary entry, guys. And this diary entry is bum, 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 bum. This is actually my first series. I'm actually doing a series. And what the series is going to be about, guys, is bum, 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 no. That Avengers Endgame. Oh, I got this bucket from. I went and seen it on the premiere night. I didn't see Avengers Endgame like 7 times, guys. I know the lighting is bad. Don't worry about the lighting. Don't worry about it. Just watch me. I've seen Avengers Endgame like 7 times, guys, so far. 7 times Avengers Endgame. It's remarkable. So everybody's doing Avengers Endgame reviews and talk about Avengers Endgame. Talking about that Endgame. So I decided I was gonna wait. I've waited 2 weeks before I started my Avengers Endgame spoiler. And especially I've been going through stuff, so that had a factor in it. But I waited 2 weeks for Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, you stupid. You is stupid. Why? Why haven't you seen this Endgame? This is like the best. Like, let me tell you something. I am a DC fan. I love DC, and I do love Marvel. You can love both. You can love two. And sometimes I'm in and out of the Marvel universe with some movies. But baby, this has to be Kevin Feige. You bad. The Russo brothers, y'all are awesome. Would y'all direct my movie? Like, I would want y'all to direct my life movie, please. It'll be so, cause this movie. Oh my God, this movie. So what I'm doing is a 5-part series. And the reason why I came up with a 5-part series, this will be part 1. I'm probably going to record like maybe part 2 tomorrow or something like that and try to post it. This is part 1. I'm doing a 5-part series because when I seen Avengers Endgame, because like I said, I seen it 7 times. When I seen it with not the first 2, because the first time I seen it by myself. The last 3 times I've seen it with people that were big Marvel fans, which I don't know how you don't have to be a super Marvel fans, but I don't know how you like under a rock with all this infinity with Thanos snapping and everybody dusting, baby. I was even dusted away for a second. For 2 weeks I was dusted. You know, how could you not be a Marvel fan? With certain movies like Captain Marvel. I don't know how you didn't see Captain Marvel. Like, I was shocked with the people that I went with. They were like, oh my goodness. I was like, boy, how you not see this? How you not know about all this? So one thing I'm gonna say about Avengers Endgame, I'm gonna go give my Julian's diary review right now. My Julian diary, I give it a A plus to the plus to the plus. It's a 3-hour movie though, but that last hour, baby. Oh, that last hour. Mbappe! Oh, that last hour. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I talk about like stuff like that movie. That movie makes you cry. The movie makes you, oh my goodness, this is like the best. Like, I am a comic book. I'm not like a big comic book movie fan, but I am a comic book movie fan. Oh my goodness, this is all my wet dream. This movie is like my wet dream. Like, that's why I've seen it 7 times. And I think I got like 6 more times in me to see this movie, because this movie is just so, oh my goodness. Like, thank you God for giving me this movie. That's why this movie is past 2 billion right now. It's only been in theaters for 2 weeks and it's already past $2 billion. So like, this movie is amazing. So this is part 1 of my 5-part series on Avengers Endgame. So this is, like I said, this is for people that are not Marvel fans that went into Avengers Endgame. Because the thing about Avengers Endgame is you have to, like this, like unlike every other movie, unlike Infinity War or any other movie, this movie was dedicated for Marvel fans, because you had to know all the characters, you had to know all the movies, you had to know everything. You had to seen Infinity War. You could not go to this movie and haven't seen any Marvel movie, haven't seen Infinity War, because you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get the movie at all. You'd be saying, and that's what I went with somebody, and they was like, well, why did they do this? And why did they do that? I was like, really? You didn't see none of these movies? Boy, really? I had to go home with him that night and watch and make him watch the movies. We had to watch, like, we had a day where we watched all Marvel movies. We had a Marvel day because he didn't understand Endgame, and I was just like, really? I was like, really? Really? You didn't? Why didn't you? So part one is basically me explaining all the movies that you need to watch. All these movies that you need to watch. All these movies that you need to watch. Because you have to watch, in order to get Endgame, you have to watch these Marvel movies. So it's 22 movies in the Marvel franchise. And it started off with, and here I go, I'm finna go on, spoiler alert. So part one, spoiler alert. Let's get into it. So it's 22 movies in the Marvel universe, spanning over 11 years. That is brilliant. For any company to do 22 movies and have all 22 movies connect to come up to this Avengers Endgame, that's remarkable. Like, that is, nobody's done that before. That's remarkable. And to maintain, I mean, they had some movies that fell off, but it still maintained this constant to end up where we at Endgame. That's why I don't know how Phase 4 is gonna go. Phase 4 for Marvel is gonna be, it's crazy because they're gonna have to redo this again, because you're not gonna have, and like I say, spoiler alert, you're not gonna have Tony Stark anymore. You're not gonna have Iron Man, because everybody knows, if you haven't seen the movie, you're not gonna have Iron Man anymore. You're not gonna have Captain America anymore. You're not gonna have Black Widow anymore, even though they're coming out with a Black Widow movie, in which I don't know what they're gonna do that, because all the movie ties in together. So the Widow movie has to tie into Phase 4. So we gonna see. I'm doing all these hand gestures like Doctor Strange. Oh, Doctor Strange. But I'm really curious as how Phase 4 is going to be. And Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out in July. So it's actually going to set up the next chapter of Marvel. So I'm really, really ready for that movie to see how they're going to set up. Because now I'm invested. Before I wasn't really invested until now I'm invested, baby. Now I'm invested. I am invested. Marvel, you got me invested. Every Marvel movie that come out, I'm invested. And here's the thing about it. So, like I said, Marvel started out with Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. This is where it all started. Iron Man is where it all started. So I was so glad that it ended with Iron Man. It ended how it started, which was just so brilliant. Thank you, Russo brothers. I like that. So you have to see Iron Man. The reason why you have to see this movie is so that you can. This movie is basically sets up, because every Marvel movie except for Endgame. So if you watch Endgame and you think there's end credits, there's no end credits. There is no end credits. But the thing about Iron Man was it was the first Marvel movie, and it was the first Marvel movie with the end credit scene. And the end credit, it wasn't the first Marvel movie, but it was the first Marvel movie like that started it all. Because the first Marvel movie everybody knows was, I think, Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I think that was the first Marvel movie. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up. But this movie sets up everything. This sets up Pepper Potts. This sets up Tony Stark. This sets up Iron Man's friend, the black man. I forgot his name. The black man that be with Tony Stark. I forgot his name. Damn, how am I gonna do this? And I forgot the man's name. But Don Cheadle plays him. Look up Don Cheadle. This man right here. He plays him. But this sets it all up. This was the test run. So this also sets up at the end credit scene in this one. This sets up Samuel L. Jackson starting the Avengers. So you have to watch Iron Man 1. If you don't watch Iron Man 1, you ain't gonna get Pepper Potts. You're not gonna get nothing, and you're not gonna get the rest of it. So you have to watch Iron Man. Now you have to watch Captain America. Now, Captain America also sets up, like, this is the first Avenger. This is the first one. And, oh, the Chris's, let me tell you, the Chris's in this movie. Oh, the Chris's. Oh, I like all three Chris's. I like my Chris Hemsworth. Oh, I like my Chris Pratt. I like my Chris's. This is my Chris. Chris's. It's the Chris's. But it sets up everything. It sets up Peggy. It sets up all that. So you have to watch this in order to know Captain America's love interest. And why? Because I know while I was sitting in the theater, and like I hate when people talk to me while I'm watching a movie. Don't talk to me while I'm watching a movie. Don't kiss me while I'm watching a movie. No. Like if we at home and we watching a movie, we like at home and then we can talk and all that stuff. But when we in the theater, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. No. So like the other person I was in the movie with was like, who is that Captain America keep watching flicking to? Who's that lady in there? And I was like, really? So you have to watch this to see to just know about Captain America. How you not know of Captain America? How you don't know Avengers Assemble? So you gotta watch Captain America. Thor. If you don't watch, like, Thor is so, oh my goodness, I love the character of Thor, and the way they set it up at the end of this, everybody knows, spoiler alert, the way they set up at the end of this, I think Thor is going to be Galaxy in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I hope he is, because the character of Thor, a lot of people didn't like Fat Thor in this movie, but I love Fat Thor in this movie. It was funny, and it like, this movie, Avengers Endgame, was emotional. It was more emotional, and that's what I was so impressed by that, how they mixed the emotion and the acting. This was so emotional. So I liked it, the Fat Thor, because it gave Thor emotional, especially the part when he was like, when Professor Hulk was like, we might how did he put it? We might not have a way to stop Thanos, and Thor was like, don't ever say that name. I was like, oh, and then like the part where, and like I said, spoilers, the part where Black Widow, which is my favorite Avenger, just want to let y'all know, my favorite Avenger is Black Widow. I love Black Widow. I loved her since the first Avengers. I love First of all, I'm a big Scarlett Johansson fan. So Scarlett, if you're watching, baby, I love you. I love Scarlett Johansson. And I love Black Widow because, first of all, I just love Black Widow. And then second of all, it's because, like, she, to me, is the toughest Avenger because she's human, but she can whoop, like any, like when she punched Thanos, I was like, bitch, you punched Thanos. What? Like, she hangs out with the big boys, and that's what I love about her. Like, since the first Avengers, bitch, she fucking hangs out with the big boys. She badass. She hangs out with the big boys. So I really love Black Widow, and I know I'm getting off, but this though. You have to watch Thor to get the characters. Like, you have to watch these. These are the three. These are the Holy Trinity. Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America is the Holy Trinity. And it shows that in this Avengers Endgame. But you have to watch, to get some of the stuff that they do, you have to watch their movies. Like, you have to. You have to watch The Incredible Hulk. Even though The Incredible Hulk was not a good movie, you have to watch it to get Hulk, to get the Steve Banner, to get the Hulk. Even though it's not the same man that played Hulk in Avengers, in the regular Avengers, because it was a different. They changed the Hulk man to make him more like, because one thing I like about MCU movies is they try to make it more family oriented. They try to make it one that everybody can go to. That's one thing I like about them, even though I like DC more because DC is more dark and I'm a dark person. I like darkness. I'm dark. I like the dark Batman. I am Batman. But this is why I like MCU movies, because you can bring everybody. So, and I'm going off part 1 is probably crazy, but this is part 1. So you have to see Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. You have to see those. You have to see it because and end credit scenes are must. You have to see. I'm not going to explain the end credit scenes, but if you're going into Avengers Endgame and you haven't seen this movie, because a lot of people say they don't like the movie because they don't understand, because this movie is made for the fans. Like everything that they reference is made for the fans. So of course you're not, when you go into Avengers Endgame, it's not like Infinity War where you don't have to know the characters to understand the story. This one you have to know the characters to understand the story. So if you came out of Endgame and you did not understand the story, I would suggest you go watch these movies, then come back and watch Infinity War, then watch Endgame, and then you would understand, and then you appreciate it more, because it made me cry the whole time, because I watched these movies and I understood all these characters and I grew up with all these characters. Bam. But you have to see Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. You have to see Thor 1, 2, and 3, pretty much Thor Ragnarok, which is my best Ragnarok. My best Thor, not my best Ragnarok, my best Thor. You really have to see it because it sets up, at the end, it sets up Infinity War. It sets up Infinity War. So you have to see it. And then when you see it, you understand why the Asgardians are where they're at, and why it's so devastating for what Thanos did, plus what happened to them in Thor Ragnarok. Like they're devastating, and also you get to understand my girl Valkyrie. That's my girl Valkyrie. You understand my girl Valkyrie. You get to know my girl Valkyrie, and the two people that were sitting on Thor couch. You get to understand them. Watch that Thor Ragnarok. It's really good. So you have to watch all the 3 Thors. Now the Hulk one, you have to watch that one, but you really don't have to watch that one. You just have to watch that one for the end credit. It's not like a must. I need to watch that Hulk movie. I guess that's why it didn't do so well. That's why they had to change the Hulk man, because you don't really have to watch that Hulk movie to be into the MCU. But it's good if you watch it. It's good if you watch it to understand this end game. Okay, the Captain America. Now, the Captain America, you have to watch the first one to get in the end credits. You have to watch the second one so you can know who the Winter Soldier is. You gotta watch Bucky. That's my boy Bucky. Ooh, Bucky. Okay, and then you get to you get to see my girl Black Widow, and you get to understand more. And like with most of the movies, like the first Captain America, you get to understand what the Tesseract is and all that stuff. So it's good to watch. Also, you have to watch Civil War, because if you don't watch Civil War, then you don't know why Captain and Iron Man is beefing. You don't know who. You don't understand like the tension and all that stuff. You have to watch Civil War. Civil War is damn good. If you don't watch Civil War, you crazy. You're crazy. So you have to watch Captain America: Civil War. Other things you have to watch: Guardians of the Galaxy. Like a lot of Galaxy stuff, the person I was sitting with didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1, but didn't see Part 2. And I was like, we gotta see. We watched Part 1 and 2. You have to see it. You have to see it for my girl Gamora. You have to understand everything. You gotta understand Rocket. You have to watch 1 and 2. Even though 2 at the end, like even though 2 really doesn't set up that much. I mean, it sets up Thanos stuff. That's what 2 do. It doesn't really set up like in like Infinity War Thanos stuff, but it sets up, the daughter Thanos, and Gamora, and my girl, what's my girl name? My girl. Oh, I forgot my girl name. With bald head, with the robot that daddy be messing up. My girl right here. Oh, can't believe I'm bad at names. You tell me, I even character names I'm bad at. But my girl right there, it sets them up. So you have to watch both Guardians of the Galaxy. But like the end credit for Guardians of the Galaxy 2 really sets up Adam Warlock, which is something different. It doesn't set up this epic saga to the end game. Now you have to watch Avengers 1. You have to watch Avengers 1 to get the setup, to get all the stuff that's set up when they go back in time in Endgame and everything. And really, if you're a true Marvel fan, you know that first Avengers that's actually Thanos' army, controlled by Loki. See, I'm forgetting names. Loki. So that's actually Thanos' army. So you actually get a glimpse of Thanos' army in Avengers, the first Avengers, which see, that's how bad they is. They be setting this stuff up. So you have to watch that first Avengers. Now you have to watch Age of Ultron, because Avengers Age of Ultron, because Age of Ultron sets up a lot of stuff. It also sets up my girl Scarlet Witch, and I don't give a care what nobody say. Scarlet Witch, like in several scenes in Endgame, like Scarlet Witch was about to fuck Thanos. God forgive me, excuse my French, excuse my hyperboles. She was about to mess Thanos up. If he wouldn't have fired on them, Scarlet Witch would have whooped his behind. But no. He had to be a punk. He was a punk twice. He was a punk because by having them fire that shit on them, and then he was a punk when he was fighting Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel was about to whoop his behind. But then he went up there and got the Power Stone and did that because he was a punk. He know she was about to whoop his behind. He was being a punk. See, that's 2 times. I don't give a care what nobody say. I'm talking about what he did when I don't give a care. He was being a punk. He's being a punk. That's cheating. There was no fair one-on-one fight. He was cheating. But let me get on. But you have to watch this. You have to watch Age of Ultron because you get to know some of the characters that's in Endgame and Infinity War. But you also get to understand who Vision was in Infinity War. You get to understand why Hawkeye wasn't in Infinity War and all that stuff, because a lot of people was asking why Hawkeye wasn't in Infinity War. Well, this is why he was under house arrest, because of what happened here and what happened in Civil War, Captain America Civil War. You have to watch that. So you have to have Age of Ultron, because Age of Ultron kind of sets up this. That's the big setup to Infinity War and Endgame. Age of Ultron. Whew. A lot of talking. So, Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man, in order for, because a lot of people didn't know who came out of the quantum realm. Now, you have to watch Ant-Man to learn about the quantum realm, because it's a lot of quantum realm in game. So you have to learn about the quantum realm through Ant-Man. Now you have to watch this Ant-Man. Now Ant-Man and the Wasp is fun, and I really liked it. And I don't know why people didn't go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it was really good, just like Ant-Man was really good. But Ant-Man and the Wasp was really good. But like you really don't have to see Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it's a fun like I guess they put Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let me tell you why they did this, and Marvel is brilliant. They put Ant-Man and the Wasp after Infinity War because they needed a light-hearted movie. Because Infinity War was so mind-blowing when Thanos snapped and killed all the people. It was mind-blowing. It was blowing your mind. So what they had to do is put a light-hearted movie, and that's why they put Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I'm just mad that it didn't do good, because I loved it, Ant-Man and the Wasp. I seen Ant-Man and the Wasp twice when I was working at AMC and getting free movies. I loved it, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That was like, oh my goodness. But you have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp for the end credit. When end credit scene, I ain't gonna tell you what the end credit, but the end credit scene will lead up to Endgame. See, that's why I say you have to watch some of these Marvel movies to get Endgame, because you'll wonder why he just all of a sudden appeared. Because if this wouldn't have happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp, this wouldn't have happened in Endgame. Now let's go to Spider-Man Far From Home. Not Far From Home. Ooh, I can't wait for that movie. Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming was like a little treat. It was to introduce Spider-Man into the MCU, because Spider-Man is not really it's Marvel's property, but it's owned by Sony, and Marvel had a contract with Sony. That's why Far From Home is a big deal, because Far From Home is the last, they have a contract for 3 movies with Spider-Man, and he did 3 movies. He did Civil War, he did his own Homecoming, and now he's doing Far From Home. That'll be the 3 movies for Spider-Man with the deal that Marvel has with Disney, Marvel have with Sony. So I'm hoping they can strike up another deal so they can use Spider-Man in more movies, and which I pretty much think they will, because Spider-Man for Homecoming did a big I keep burping. Did $1 billion, and I don't think Sony would want to fuck up with $1 billion. Excuse my Japanese, because I mean money talks, bull walks. So, but in order to get Endgame, you really don't have to watch Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a good movie. I suggest you watch it. It's good, but it's really nothing in there. It's just this Spider-Man Homecoming is introducing Spider-Man into the MCU. Pretty much, that's what all it is. Introducing Tom Holland. Oh, Tom Holland, baby, how you doing? Introducing his Spider-Man into the MCU, into the movies. So it's really not necessarily how can I put it? It's not necessarily anything that ties into what there is, because what, like I say, Marvel do is they don't like to have everything so serious, and that's why they do stuff like the reason why they put Spider-Man Homecoming after Civil War, because Civil War was so like action packed that you want something lighthearted, and that's what Spider-Man Homecoming was. It was lighthearted, so to balance it out, just like they did after Infinity War. They did Ant-Man and the Wasp because it was lighthearted and it balanced out everybody's feelings, because everybody was in their feelings after Civil War. But after Spider-Man, it was kind of like, okay. Then they got back in their feelings when Infinity War. Then they seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was like, okay, you know, your feelings. Marvel, and I'm telling you, Endgame messes with your feelings. It messes with your feelings. So you really don't have to see Spider-Man Homecoming, but it's good that you see it, so you know, introduced to Tom Holland Spider-Man, because I can't say he's my best Spider-Man, because I like Tobey Maguire. Like Tobey Maguire is like Spider-Man number 1, then maybe Tom Holland's, then maybe that other boy, which I don't know his name. But I really didn't like his Spider-Man as much as like these Spider-Mans. But this is just a little lighthearted. Then we get into my girl, and you need to watch my girl, Captain Marvel. My girl, Brie Larson. I don't give a what they say about Brie Larson. They can talk about Brie Larson all day. I love you, Brie Larson. You my girl. You is my girl. I love Captain Marvel, baby. Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. You know, I was supposed to do a Captain Marvel review, but I didn't do it because I waited so long, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this Captain Marvel review because I didn't wait so long. But if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, how dare you? But Captain Marvel, you have to see it because it introduces Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel plays a big role in Infinity War. She doesn't play a big role in Infinity War, but at the end of Infinity War, they shout out to her. But she has a big part in Endgame. So you have to watch Captain Marvel, because you don't know who this person is if you don't watch Captain Marvel. And then the end credit scenes in Captain Marvel. There's 2 end credit scenes that you have to watch. Even though the very last end credit scene really doesn't have nothing to do, but the last end credit scenes explains how the Space Stone got to where it was. The Space Stone got to where it was. How did Loki get it? And how does it set up the first Avengers? But if you didn't see that, then you don't know. So you have to see that. So all in all, guys, I know this is long, but this is part 1. All in all, guys, in order for you to get Endgame, because Endgame is a fan movie. It is a fan. It's not like any other MCU movie. It's brilliant. It's great. And like I gave it A+++++. This is a fan-based movie. Basically, this is a movie that said all 22 movies and put it in one movie. So basically, if you haven't seen these movies, then Endgame is you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna say I hate it because you don't understand it. That's why you need to watch these movies. This is a fan movie. Endgame is a fan movie. So I suggest you go ahead and watch in this order: Iron Man, the first Iron Man. Then you watch Incredible Hulk. You don't need to watch it, but I would suggest you watch it. You don't need to. My nose. You don't need to watch it. Captain America. You have to watch it in order to understand Captain America stuff in Endgame. You have to watch it. It's the Endgame. Thor. You have to watch Thor to understand the stuff in Thor. Like the stuff with Thor Mama and all that stuff. You have to watch it in order to understand. You have to watch the first Avengers movie. You have to watch it to understand. You have to watch Iron Man 2. I really don't have to watch it, but yeah, you do have to watch it. I suggest you watch it to understand a little bit more. You have to watch Iron Man 3. You have to watch it to understand a little bit more. You have to watch Thor: The Dark World. You have to watch Thor: The Dark World. You have to watch Captain America: Winter Soldier. You have to watch this Winter Soldier. It's badass. You have to watch it. Excuse my Japanese. Big movies that you have to watch. Big movies that you have to watch. Big movies that you have to watch in order to understand this. I'm not going to say it again. It's you have to watch Thor Ragnarok. In order to really, you have to watch Thor Ragnarok. You have to watch Captain America Civil War. You have to watch that. I'm sorry. You have to watch that. You have to watch. Did I say Thor Ragnarok? I think I did say Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok, you have to watch that. Now the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you have to watch those too. 1 and 2. I mean, it helps you. Watching number 1 will help you understand a little bit more. But like Guardians of the Galaxy is more MCU cosmic, and it has more of understanding Thanos and Gamora and Nebula. My girl Nebula. Girl, I forgot your name, girl. My girl Nebula, which badass. You did badass in this, girl. That's my girl Nebula. And Groot and all that stuff for you to understand them people. Spider-Man Homecoming. Now you don't have to watch it, but I suggest you watch it. It's really good, and you get to understand those characters. Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man, you get to learn about the quantum realm, so I suggest you watch it. You have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp in order to understand Scott Lang, how did Scott Lang come through the quantum realm, and why is he still alive. You have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. You have to watch Black Panther. I forgot about my Black Panther. You have to watch Black Panther because it's historic. It's Black Panther. It's historic. It really, like, to be honest with you, it sets up Black Panther in the MCU. It really doesn't, like, and then it sets up Black Panther in Infinity War. But I suggest you watch it. It sets up where Bucky's been and everything. So watch Black Panther. Then you have to watch my girl Captain Marvel. Brie Larson. You know Brie Larson just made $1 billion with Captain Marvel. I think I already said that, but she did good. So you have to watch those movies in order to get Endgame. So that's part 1. The movies that you have to watch to get Endgame. If you are a fan, then you'd already seen those movies. If you're not a fan, you need to watch those movies. In order, and then go back and watch Endgame again. Because if you already seen, because I know a lot of people already seen Endgame, and for you to say I don't understand is because you haven't watched those movies. So I need you to go back and watch those movies, then come back and watch Endgame again, and then we will talk. So until part 2, and part 2 is actually going to be about. What is part 2 going to be about? What did I say part 2? Part 2 is actually going to be about the emotional story and why this story is so emotional and so key. It's going to be about the emotions, so y'all can understand why people cry, why they cry, why people. Because I know I was in, like I said, I was in the movie with somebody, and they was like, well, why when my girl she did what she did, and I was crying, and they said, and he was like, why you crying? And I was like, really? You don't understand. So you have to watch that. You have to watch Infinity War. So I'm gonna end it right there. So go ahead and subscribe if you like this video. Go ahead and share this video with your friends and let them know about Julian's diary. Go ahead and hit those notifications so you know every time I post a video. Go ahead and follow me in all my social medias in the description below. Go see that Endgame. Go watch these movies, then see that Endgame. Marvel, I love you. Thank you, Kevin Feige. Peace on everybody. Peace.